Sri Gurubhyo Namaga children. Today we are going to discuss about pollination. Introduction. Pollination is a wonderful mechanism which takes place in plants which provides food, shelter, etc. for pollinating animals. Many plants are pollinated by particular animal species and the flowers are modified accordingly and exist a co-evolution between plants and animals. Do you think if there is no pollination, what will happen? If there is no pollination means there is no formation of gametes, there is no fusion of gametes, there is no production of flowers, there is no production of seeds, there is no food for animals, pollinating animals. So pollination is a very important event takes place in plants. Definition for pollination. The process of transfer of pollen grains from an anther to stigma of a flower is called pollination. It's a very important topic. The transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a flower. This is called pollination. Transfer of pollen grains from the anther to stigma of a flower is called pollination. See here. This is stigma, style, ovary. This is anther. This is pollen grains. This pollen grains, transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a flower is called pollination. Is it clear? Yes. Based on the flower on which pollen of your flower reaches, the pollination is of two kinds. One is called self-pollination, another one is called cross-pollination. The self-pollination is also called as autogamy. Auto means self or same. Gamy means fusion of gametes. So autogamy is nothing but gamy means fusion, auto means self or same. Okay, so the pollination is of two kinds. One is called autogamy, another one is called allogamy. Allo means different, gamy means fusion. Is it clear? Yes. Now we are going to see the definition for self-pollination or autogamy. The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to stigma of the same flower, that is called autogamy. The same transfer of pollen grains from the stigma of a flower from the anther to stigma of a flower, same flower, is called self-pollination or autogamy. See that it is a flower. This is called female part stigma. The transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of the same flower. Very important point. Same. That is called self-pollination or autogamy. The self-pollination is possible only those plants which bears bisexual flowers. What is mean by bisexual flower? A plant flower which have both sex, that is male reproductive organ as well as the female reproductive organ, that is androecium and gynoecium. So the androecium and gynoecium are present in a single flower, then they are said to be bisexual flower. Example, hibiscus. That androecium and gynoecium are reproductive organs, sex organs. Androecium is nothing but male reproductive organ. Gynoecium is said to be female reproductive organ. This androecium and gynoecium are present in a single flower, one flower, that is said to be bisexual flower. Both sexes are present in a single flower, that is called bisexual flower. So self-pollination or autogamy takes place only in the bisexual flower. Clear? Yes. The next one is called cross-pollination. The same, the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of another flower. Transfer of pollen on the stigma of another flower, that is called cross-pollination. Another flower, not the same flower. Another flower, it is said to be cross-pollination. The cross-pollination is of two types. One is called gynetogamy. Another one is called xenogamy. Gynetogamy, when the pollen deposits on another flower, pollen from the anther to stigma of the another flower, different flower of the same individual, then it is said to be gynetogamy. See the diagram here. This is a plant having two different flowers. One is said to be male flower, another said to be female flower. The transfer of pollen from anther to stigma of another flower, okay, having the same individual, both the male flower and female flower are present in a same individual, same plant. That type of pollination is said to be gynetogamy. Once again I am repeating, the pollen deposits on another flower of the same individual plant, it is said to be gynetogamy. It is usually occurs in monoecious condition. What is monoecious condition? A plant which has male flower and female flower separately. That type of plant is said to be monoecious plant. Male flower separately and female flower separately. The plant which has a separate male flower and separate female flower, there will be a pollination takes place between the male flower and the female flower. That type of pollination is said to be gynetogamy. So monoecious is nothing but a plant having two different flower, two different sex flowers. One is male flower, another one is female flower. There will be a pollination takes place between male and the female. transfer of pollen grains from the anther to stigma of the another flower, but having the same individual. Both the flowers are present in a single plant. That is a very, very important. The next one is said to be xenogamy. When the pollen deposits on another flower of different plant, not the same plant, it is a different plant, that is called xenogamy. Xeno means different plant, gamy means fusion of gametes, male gametes and female gametes. Fusion of gametes is nothing but gamy. Clear? See, the transfer of pollen grains from this flower to stigma of this flower. This flower is different and this flower is different, but same species. For example, this is a rose flower and this is also a rose flower, and the transfer of pollen from here to stigma of this flower, same species but different plant, that is called xenogamy. Clear everyone? Yes. Next one, agents of pollination. Pollination is affected, that means caused by many agents like wind, water, etc. On the basis of agent that brings about pollination, it is divided into two. One is called abiotic pollination, another one is called biotic pollination. Abiotic agent, abiotic means physical factor, no involvement of living organisms, that is called abiotic agent. Okay, there are two different abiotic agents are there. One is called anemophily, another one is called hydrophily. Anemophily is nothing but pollination takes place, pollination by wind. With the help of wind, breeze, there have pollination takes place. That is called anemophily. Next one is called hydro. Wherever you heard the word hydro means it is nothing but water. Pollination takes place, that means pollination by water is called hydrophily. The flower which belongs to this anemophily is said to be anemophilous. The flower which belongs to anemophily, the flower which are involved in pollination by wind, that flower is said to be anemophilous. The flower which is involved in the pollination of water, that type of flower is said to be hydrophilous. Pollinating flowers here, anemophilous. Pollinating by water, the flower is said to be hydrophilous. I understand? There have much more drawbacks in pollination by wind. These particular flowers are mainly present in the wind flowing area. Okay, high wind flowing area. There may have a chance of damage of pollen grains through wind. There is no proper deposition of pollen grains to stigma of a flower. So, anemophily is not appropriate pollinating agent. Okay. Then also hydrophily. Hydrophily is also not appropriate agent. Most of the plants, many plants undergo pollination by biotic agents, that is called animals, insects, etc. The next one is called zoophily. Zoophily is nothing but pollination through animals. Many of the plants are adapted for pollination through animals only. Animals. And pollination through insects are said to be entomophily. Once again I am repeating. First one is anemophily, that is called pollination by wind. Second one is called hydrophily, pollination by water. Third one is called zoophily, pollination through animals, and pollination through insects, it is named as entomophily. Clear, children? Yes. See the flowchart here. Pollination. It is broadly classified into two types, main two kinds. One is called self-auto, another one is called cross. And this cross pollination is of two. One is abiotic agencies, agent, and next one is called biotic agents. As I said earlier, many of the plants are adapted for biotic agencies. These are the different animals and insects involved in pollination. Beetle, moth, bees, butterflies, snails, birds, bats and ants. Clear? Yes. The next very important exam point of the question, pollination in salvia, liver mechanism. It is a 5-mark question, expecting question. Okay, very simple question. The flower of salvia is adapted for bee pollination. The salvia is the name of the flower. This particular flower only adapt bee pollination. The flower is protandrous, that means the flower has male reproductive organ come first, and after that only the female reproductive organ comes next. Okay, that is called protandrous, and corolla is bilabiate with the two stamens. A liver mechanism helps in pollination. Each anther has two lobes. One is called fertile lobe, another one is called sterile lobe. Fertile lobe is involved for fertility. Sterile lobe is involved for infertility. Okay, so anther has two lobes. One is called the fertile lobe, another one is called the sterile lobe, which is separated by long connective which helps the anther to swing freely. Once again I am repeating. The flower of salvia is adapted for bee pollination. This particular flower only adapted for bee pollination. Now the explanation about the flower. The flower is protandrous, that means male organ comes first. Male reproductive organ comes first, followed by the female reproductive organ. The liver mechanisms helps in pollination. Each anther has upper fertile lobe and lower sterile lobe. Both these are connected by a connective which helps the anther to swing freely. When a bee visits a flower, if any bee visits a flower, it sits on the lower lip which acts as a platform. Once the bee touches the flower, it goes and sits in the lower lip. Lower lip acts as a platform. Okay, which enters the flower to suck. That bee enters inside and suck the nectar from the flower. Once the bee goes inside, the body of the bee slightly touches the upper lip. During the entry of bee into the flower, the body strikes against the sterile end of the connective. This makes the fertile part of the stamen descend and strike on the back of the bee. Once the bee bend and suck the nectar from the flower, the fertile part descends, touches the body of the bee. Then the pollen gets deposited on the body of the bees. When it visits another flower, that particular bee visits another flower, the pollen grains are rubbed against the stigma and completes the act of pollination in salvia. So very important easy question. Please by heart this question. It is a compulsory question. Okay? Yes. Next one. Advantages of self-pollination. Self-pollination is almost happens in bisexual flower. As I said earlier, bisexual flower means a flower which has both sex, male sex organ as well as the female sex organ. That is androecium and gynoecium are present in a single flower. That is called a bisexual flower. Clear? The next one, when the members of this species are uncommon, it is uncommon and are separated by large distance, the plant will undergo only self-pollination. The next one, if all the chances of cross-pollination fails, if there is no animals, if there is no insects, if there is no wind pollination, if there is no hydro-pollination, etc., if there is no chance of cross-pollination, the particular plant will undergo self-pollination. Clear? So if all the chances of cross-pollination fails, self-pollination will take place and prevent the extension of the species. Clear? This is the main advantages of self-pollination. Next we move on to disadvantages. On continuous self-pollination, generation after generation, the results are weaker. The production of progeny, the development of fruits, the production of new plants are very weaker. And then, chance of producing new species and varieties are mere. That means very low. New species are not produced with the self-pollination. Clear? Then advantages of cross-pollination. It always results in bringing out much healthier offspring. With the help of cross-pollination, the offspring, the young one which is produced are very healthier. Okay. Generation capacity is much better when compared with the parent generation. New varieties of plants are produced with the cross-pollination. The adaptability of which we lose excess of blood means automatically we are in restless. Okay. So platelets is a very important cell, essential for clotting of blood. It acts on the site of injury and prevents the loss of blood. Is it clear? And very important 4 more question, functions of blood. The first important function, blood transport the respiratory gases, example oxygen and carbon dioxide. We are inhaling oxygen and expel out carbon dioxide. Yes? Once the oxygen enters into our body, it directly goes to the lungs. From the lungs, this oxygen is mixed with the blood and it circulated to all parts of the body. That major function is done by blood. Blood only transport the respiratory gases, mainly oxygen and carbon dioxide. During the metabolic reaction, the waste substance that is called carbon dioxide is released from the tissue. That waste carbon dioxide also carried out by the blood and it passes through the blood capillaries, it reaches to the lungs and from the lungs it is expelled out from the body. So all the transporting mechanism, transport of respiratory gases, carbon dioxide and oxygen is carried out by blood. Second one, it also transport the digested food materials to the different body cells. Third one, transport hormones. Different hormones are produced in our body. Different glands produce different hormones. Pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, adrenal gland, pancreas, testes and ovaries. All these are glands in our body. So each one gland produce different hormones. So all these hormones are transported from one place to another through the blood only. And fourth one, transport of nitrogenous excretory product, waste product, and it is passed out from the body through urine. So all these mechanisms are also carried out by blood. Clear? Once again I am repeating, it is a very important question. First point, the transport of respiratory gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Second one, it also transport the digested food materials to the different body cells. Third one, it transport the hormones. And fourth one, it also transport the nitrogenous waste substances like ammonia, urea and uric acid. Clear? Fifth point, it is involved in the production of body and defense against disease. And it also acts as a buffer and also help in regulation of pH of the body. As I said earlier, pH is nothing but negative logarithm of hydrogen ion concentration. The last one, it maintains the proper water balance in our body, So these are the very important 6 points about the functions of blood. You have to by heart. Okay. The next topic, next heading is blood vessels. The blood is passed from one part of the body to another part of the body through blood vessels. The name of the blood vessels is said to be arteries and veins. So blood vessels are network of branched tube that transport the blood from one part of the body to another part of the body. There are 3 different types of blood vessels, namely, first one is arteries, second one is veins, and third one is capillaries. Both are same only, both 3 are blood vessels. Based on the size of the blood vessels, based on the functions of these blood vessels, they are grouped into 3 types. It is named as 3 types. One is called the arteries, second one is called the veins, and third one is called capillaries. These capillaries is said to be minute blood vessels. Okay. The first one is arteries. They are the thick elastic blood vessels that carry blood from the heart to all parts of the body. It always carries oxygenated blood to all parts. It always carries oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood is nothing but pure blood that contains enormous amount of oxygen. So arteries always carries oxygenated blood, except only one artery is there, that is called pulmonary artery. This pulmonary artery alone carries deoxygenated blood. Other than that, all arteries are carried only the oxygenated blood. Clear? So all arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery, which carry deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Next, veins. Veins are thin and non-elastic vessels that transport blood to the heart from the different parts of the body, from the tissue, blood from the tissue to the lungs to the heart, that is called veins. All veins carry deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated means impure blood. They do not contain oxygen. So all veins carry deoxygenated blood except the pulmonary vein. This pulmonary vein alone carry oxygenated blood. This pulmonary vein carry oxygenated blood. Next one is capillaries. Capillaries are narrow. Narrow means very small, minute blood vessel formed by branching of arterioles which unite to form venules and veins. They are about 8 micrometer in diameter. See the size of the capillary? They are in 8 micrometer in diameter. The capillaries are formed of single layer of endothelial cells. It is made up of single layer of endothelial cells. Clear? And one more important 4 mark question, difference between artery and vein. Artery singular, arteries plural, okay. Artery is nothing but distributing vessel, distributing blood vessel. It distributes the blood from the heart to different parts of the body. It always transport oxygenated blood only, okay. So it is a distributing blood, distributing vessel. Then vein, it always collecting vessel. It collects the blood from different parts of the body to the heart. So veins is nothing but collecting vessel. The color of the artery is pink and vein is red. They are in deep location. It is present inside deep, but veins are in superficial, top of the body, upper layer. Blood flow with high pressure in the artery, blood flow in low pressure in the vein. The flow of blood is in normal, low in vein. It is in high pressure in artery. The wall of artery is strong, thick and elastic, but wall of vein is weak, thin and non-elastic. All arteries carries oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. This only alone carry impure blood, deoxygenated blood. The quite opposite. All veins carry deoxygenated blood except the pulmonary vein. This pulmonary vein alone carry deoxygenated blood. The last one, internal walls are absent. Internal walls are absent. Here internal walls are present in the vein. Clear? Next, types of circulatory system. There are two different types of circulatory system. One is called open type, another one is called closed type. Open type of circulatory systems are seen in arthropods. These closed types are seen in vertebrating animals. So open type and one is closed type. There are two different types. Animal possesses two different types of circulatory system. One is called open type and the one is called closed type. What is open type? In open type, the blood is pumped by heart, a normal process. The blood is pumped by the heart to the vessels that open into blood surface, blood space called sinuses. that is the place where the blood is flow. The sinuses are cavities, which are also called as hemocoel. Sinuses are also called as hemocoel. Circulatory system that have open type having the sinuses, it is also called as hemocoel. The capillary system is absent here in open type of circulatory system. Example: arthropods, mollusca, and amphibians. These three are having the open type of circulatory system. The next last one is a closed type of circulatory system. In closed type of circulatory system, the blood flows through the blood vessels having a specific blood vessels. The blood always flow through the blood vessels only, arteries, veins and capillaries. In closed type, the blood flow in a complete circuit manner around the body from the head to legs. The blood flow through the blood vessels only. The blood flow uniformly. The blood flow from arteries to veins through blood vessels called capillaries. Finally, capillaries is a minute blood vessels. It is directly goes to the organs, tissues. Example: vertebrates. Once again, I am repeating. Closed type. In closed type, the blood flow in a complete circuit around the body through specific blood vessels. The flow of blood from arteries to veins through small blood vessels called capillaries. Example: all vertebrates. Vertebrates is nothing but animals. Animals having backbone. Okay. That's all, children. We will see in the next class.